much of the Midwest, but don't fear, we've got football to perk up our spirits as we join you from Paycor Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio. Today we hit Week 10, and we've got a good one in store between the Baltimore Ravens and the Cincinnati Bengals. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go.
Burrow on play action. Got an open man, that's C.J. Uzomah. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. An early statement on the game's first play. 18 yards and a first down.
11 empty.
Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38.
Here we go. 12.
On 2nd and 15 now. Burrow. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first? All right, Charles, let me put you in the head of one of those defenders out there. You have a big play like that go against you so early. What, does that shake your confidence?
It shouldn't, but it often does, because your thought process all during the week is how you're going to get after that offense and make your plays. And when they make one against you, makes you a little bit hesitant.
Time to regroup. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. The Bengals sit 5-3 now on the year. And they come in playing some pretty decent football, 5-3 over their last 8.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing, because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
The defense surrenders a 13-yard pass play there on 3rd and 1. A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door, 1st and goal. Here's Swift. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here. One more time with Swift. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Give him 4 yards there, but they're still well short of the goal line with 4th down now looming. Big 3rd down stop. I can almost hear that defense saying, go ahead, go for it, try it, try it.
You see that swagger out there, don't you? You see him saying, yeah, go ahead and give him one more shot. But I think if you're the head coach in this situation with you having the ball, just tip your cap to the guy on the other side. Say, okay, you got me this time. Kick the field goal. We'll see you the rest of the game.
Well, if they would go for it and not get it, though, the other offense would have a long way to go in the other direction. The run on 4th and goal from the 4 is stopped short. And on the opening drive of the ball game, the defense comes up with a goal line stand. Jackson now down around his goal line. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll bring up a 2nd and short. Well, this defense for the Bengals, they were excellent a week ago in the win over Pittsburgh.
And every defensive team that we talk to, they spend a lot of time talking about creating turnovers. And anytime you get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really good performance. They exceeded that number in a huge way. They got the football back 4 times in the win.
10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down. Here's Jackson. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
Oh, I saw this one with defensive eyes because even as he escaped the pocket in one time, the coverage stayed tight. Nothing broke down. Throwing it away, that was his only option.
To throw again on second down. Jackson. That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman. And out across midfield down to the 45.
A very nice job right there, working the middle of the field, able to create some separation and then utilize it to not just make the catch, but turn upfield once he got the ball in his hands.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. He'll find Bateman once more. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line. Pretty solid opening drive here, Charles. They worked in the run game, the pass game, just steadily getting yards, and now they've got it inside the red zone here with an opportunity.
And the only thing they don't have so far is points. But the way that they're moving the ball now, that shouldn't take much longer. And they've established a great balance so far. Running, passing, doing what they want on offense.
A 14-yard pickup. That's 14 yards on 2 straight plays. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens go coast to coast and finish the drive off with 6 points. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after's up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This taken in at the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Bengals drive about to get going. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. First catch there for Evans. Good enough for a first down. Well, starting drive number 2 off on the right foot. Completion for the first down. Drive 1 is that had to be pretty frustrating because they moved the football. They just didn't get any points out of it.
But warm-up QB2, let's bring in the backup. I mean, my goodness, you take them downfield and you don't score points. You know I'm being totally facetious here, right? I'm just kidding. Nice first drive. Rarely do teams score on every single drive in a game. But they like what they did there. They just hope they can pay it off this time with some points.
Here we go.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. 12. Off the play fake. Here's Burrow. This is Chase Claypool on the receiving end. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
But I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere. And they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well. And that's what they just did on that play.
And they'll send the tight end in motion left. On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. After 7-0 on EA Sports. 2nd and 10. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And that's out to the flat for Swift. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense, because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
Gun.
4th down. Here's Joe Burrow. He's got a man open. It's Chase Claypool. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Chase Claypool halfway to 100 now with career touchdown number 50. And the Bengals' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This fielded right at the goal line. Oh, good-looking return set up here. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. 3-5 is where they sit on the year. A very uneven start. It's certainly not an ideal position to be in at the halfway point of the season. CD, do you see an avenue where they can still be a playoff team, or is that ship sailed?
Well, since you took me to the nautical side, I'm going to try and keep up here, because to me, this ship is about ready to pull out of port. These next couple of games are absolute must-wins for them. Now, if they can win a couple, get to 5-5, maybe they start believing in themselves. But a loss here, that would move them to 3-6. And if that's the case, well, that boat is going to head out to the harbor with them still on the dock.
16 more on that one and another 1st down. From the gun, Jackson. That is caught. It's Bateman for a Raven touchdown. Rashad Bateman, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Ravens have taken the lead. Tucker with the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Bringing it out of his end zone, Isaiah Rodgers. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. After that last score we just saw, now 14-7, so a chance to march down the field here, try to tie this football game. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit. Even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
Able to hit his target, Claypool. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down, executed it to perfection. Meanwhile, Burrow's throw there hauled in by Claypool. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
I like that one, partner. They go back-to-back with excellent gains, and really it shouldn't be a surprise who they were throwing the ball to. He's their best guy.
Yeah, we knew that they would get him involved early. They're doubling down on getting him involved early.
Don't be surprised if they'll come right back to him again. They haven't shown the propensity to be able to stop him.
They try and run on first down, but to no avail. Tackled for a 2-yard loss in the backfield.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Here we go.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Now Burrow. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens 33. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
11 Thomas. 11 MT. 11 MT.
Here's Burrow. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. They will run straight ahead with Swift. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Caught the defense off guard there a bit on 2nd and long, but now you still have to deal with 3rd and long.
Yeah, you do, but you feel pretty good about the last play, don't you? And maybe it gives you a little bit of confidence dialing up the next one, that maybe your team will believe in it when you send it in.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
And they're going to fake it. He wants to throw it here. And this one will not work out. It is incomplete. It would have been a long field goal. The fake doesn't work out. And the Ravens are going to get the football back. Well, it was a long attempt to begin with, so the fake you might have known was somewhat of a possibility. Credit to the defense, though. They weren't fooled.
You're right, they weren't fooled, and they were in a position of having to play it both ways. Guard for the fake, but you still want to rush the kicker because it was a makeable kick. So they ended up getting the best out of the whole thing. Stuffed the fake, and they take over the ball.
On 2nd down, there's the option going left. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
And they're going to get this up to midfield.
A gain of 13 yards. First down, Baltimore.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Now it's Jackson. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. A big play there. 44 yards. And the Ravens go up by 2 touchdowns. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And it's now 21-7.
Bengals 7.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Rodgers going to return it from his end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The Bengals drive about to get going. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football, because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulder.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Jackson going to run again. Strong run, but still wrangled before reaching the 20. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. A chance of wasting this great starting field position. A real threat. This is 3rd and long. Here's Jackson to throw. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
The quarterback got away with one there. Looked like he was in line for a pick, but instead it's knocked harmlessly to the turf.
Tucker's kick is good, and they will open things up a bit more. It's 24-7. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx it.
On a return from his end zone, Rodgers.
For most people, the excitement of a kickoff return is to see a long one that goes back in the opposite direction. But for the guys covering it, it's being able to stop them deep in their own territory. How about that incredible form tackle right there? Shoulder in the ball carrier, and down he goes.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And with a 3-score deficit staring them in the face, they might have to press the issue here and try to get points out of this drive. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Kyle Hamilton picks it, and the Ravens will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 43. He's going to air one out. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Certainly no lack of aggressiveness here. They were hoping for the home run play to get them 6 points. They're hoping for a catch, maybe a call, but they figure they can at least get into field goal range with a completion.
To throw on 2nd and 10, Jackson. That is caught. Rashad Bateman. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
First down, Ravens.
And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. And that is incomplete. They're going for a receiver there. Already has one touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
The final shot before break. Jackson.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Jair Elam makes a pick, and he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half.
So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Ravens out in front. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They go play action now. Jackson. And he'll just get rid of it. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing incompletion on first down, then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going into the quarter.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by Jamal Adams.
And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And they go play action now. Burrow.
He'll find Swift out of the backfield. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line. They run out of the gun with Swift. And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Burrow looking to pass. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time.
And the Ravens are going to take possession here as they've got it at their own 4-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to
under pressure, and down he goes in the end zone, and that's a safety.
Every team has plays in their book to try and buy some room when a safety's on the table. But a big variable is how does each team deal with the pressure of executing in those situations. In this case, they didn't, and they gave up 2 points.
The Bengals drive about to get going. Now they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
On 2nd down, Swift. And he'll get about 3 out of that up to the 39-yard line.
Not the start to the drive they were hoping for. That run doesn't get them much at all.
No, not at all. That leaves them with 3rd and long, which means you got to dial up something pretty good. Think your best player with a play that he likes to run best.
Throw left side, taken in by Claypool.
So the completion good for 7 there. And that's going to make it 4th down.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he is a get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
Now, meanwhile, they go for it on 4th down, and my goodness, incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out, and the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. Now Jackson taps this forward jet sweep. And he's going to be met at about the 43.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
On 2nd and 7, Jackson. He's got his man Randall. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. It's a loss of 4 on the 1st down play. So a step in the wrong direction. Now they'll look to make amends on 2nd and 14. From the gun, it's Jackson. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22.
Multiple defenders there to drop him for a loss of 4.
Really wasn't a breakdown in protection. Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. Powell on the catch. And he'll be tackled right on the 10, well short of the 1st down. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. And the 13-year man puts it through, and that will extend their lead even further.
And right now, Charles, this is about building that lead little by little, and they're able to do just that.
And it gets them past the key number of 16, so this is now a 3-score lead. Not time to exhale just yet, but that might prove to be an important 3 points before things are said and done.
And he takes this near the 25, just a little pass there, call it the 26.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
He's going to sling this deep downfield. He's got a man complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
11 MT tape. 11 MT tape. Stop.
From the red zone now, here's Burrow 1st down. Now Burrow loses the football. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down.
Oh, for the 3rd time, Jackson going to be intercepted. Jair Elam makes a pick, and the Bengals will take over here just shy of the 30.
That had disaster written all over. You've got a right-handed quarterback, a rolling left, and throwing it pretty far downfield.
It's really difficult to do, to try and get your body twisted around into the proper position and get anything on the ball as you heave it downfield.
And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Burrow will throw. He finds his target. It's Evans.
Finding room at midfield. Loose inside the 30. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. Now it's Burrow. And the the ball is knocked out, and the Ravens have got it.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last two, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
He's got room past the 30.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. It's a gain of 35. The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry.
He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4, 2nd down.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. 3 quarters in the books. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line.
67 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter. Looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body length.
And that'll be taken in by Andrews for a Ravens touchdown.
A great play there. His first touchdown on the year.
And the Ravens are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead.
Tucker with the extra point, and they open the lead up now to 25. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Rodgers going to return it from his end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
Here we go, here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
Now, this game went off the rails early for them and never really got back on track. And these fans, they were expecting to be on the other side of the scoreboard. But that is not the case as we play on here in this 4th quarter.
On 2nd and 12, Burrow. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Completion here to Claypool.
Here we go, here we go.
Complete to Chase Claypool. A gain of 7. It's
11, Thomas. 12, 11, Thomas.
Here we go. It's Burrow on 4th down. He's going to float this one deep right side. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Bengals try it, but it doesn't work out. And it'll be a turnover on downs.
Hey, middle.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
a gain of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down.
The Ravens on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the 3rd down play. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. They go play action with Jackson. And that's incomplete. The CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And the Ravens start to open this lead even wider here in the 4th. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. On the return from his end zone, Rodgers. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
I'm line, right?
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
They will throw on 1st down with Burrow. Looking left side, and it's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now it's Burrow. He'll drop it, puts it on the carpet, it's out, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. And now, meanwhile, after the dust settles on the fumble, we've got an injured player here as well. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at about the 32. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. They go up the middle with Campbell, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Again, they run with Campbell. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Well, we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place.
Now a hit and a loose football. And now off to the races down the right side. And that should just about do it. They return it to the end zone, sealing it with a defensive touchdown. Now Tucker to add the PAT. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Rodgers going to return it from his end zone.
I'm one, ready?
And they take a knee.
On 2, ready?
Clock counting down toward 40 seconds as they take the knee.
Here we go,
Third down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points.
And they will take a knee here.
Well, this was a blowout supported by both sides of the ball today, Charles. It would be easy to look at the offense and say, man, they were clicking, and they were, but don't forget about the effort by this defense as well.
Yeah, they weren't going to let up just because the lead was safe. They wanted to play as big a part in this game as their offense did in making this blowout. They needed to be noticed as well, and they played accordingly.
So for the Ravens, it's an important win for their postseason hopes as they at least get back to 4-5. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to the Windy City to take on the Bears. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, they'll lose an important one here as that drops them to 5-4 on the season. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel up to Detroit to take on the Lions.